our final kind of third of the day to go now, so I hope you're still with us. We've got a really interesting session coming up now, given by our very own Stephen Bradley. So this is going to be about assistive technology, assistive technologies say that's available for students in colleges across Ireland, because a lot of times people don't really know what facilities are available for them. And also, really important one is how to register for a needs assessment, which is also a very important part of being a student with disability. So Stephen, whenever you're ready, you can take it away. Thanks so much.
So, hi everyone. As Lisa said, I am doing this presentation on assistive technology in tertiary education. I am a member of the Student Advisory Group, which I'm very pleased to be a part of, and I'm honoured to share my experience from third level education, FET, further education to third level. So I'm studying community development in Munster Technological University. My experience of the education system so far as a whole has been a very positive experience, as I think from secondary school, from third level education onwards, the focus is on students, but the focus is on needs assessments as well, which I think, in my opinion, should be brought into third level and FET and second level, because it gives you the opportunity to get the most out of your education experience. So the National Council for the Blind are an organisation which I am heavily involved in, and I still am since secondary school, which are very helpful in the process from second level to tertiary education and on to third level. They still help students within third level education, and as you can see on screen, here are some of their supports they offer. So they offer assistive technology training, and they offer mobility training, and also they offer assistive living, with helping people with mobility issues kind of maneuver the education system as best as they can, because, as I suppose everyone here can relate to, and a lot of people have experiences like myself, navigating the education system with a physical disability and with ADHD is a challenge in itself. So basically, to put it in perspective, is that the assistive technology office within FET and higher education is very beneficial. So this is one of the assistive technology tools that I have had the privilege of using through the NCBI, which is it's a assistive talking calculator. So basically what it does is you can input the key, like say mathematical equations you want, and it'll speak back to you. The only difficulty with that is that you have to have headphones on you, as it talks on its own without headphones, but the problem is everyone in the class will be able to hear it, so it'll be very disruptive. So I would advise, if you are thinking of using something like this, which I would highly recommend, to make sure you have headphones with you if you're in a lecture hall or a classroom. So needs assessments. So needs assessments are a crucial part of any student trying to enter third level education. And I would highly recommend students to avail of this opportunity, with students with disabilities to avail of this opportunity, and to make sure that you get in contact with the disability office a couple of months prior to your starting college in September, like, or even if you're going to FET, I'd advise you to start the process earlier than later, because the process does take a long time. And if your assistive technology officer and the DSS have assessed you for, like, say, assistive technology processes and like equipment, there's two aspects to it. So you have to get assessed by the Disability Support Service for your basic needs, but then you have to do another assessment as part of the assistive technology side of things to get finalized for the technologies that will help you progress through your college education degree. So as part of my education degree or education experience within MTU, and just let me stress, this is coming from an MTU perspective, as well as I can speak for, like, say, College of Com, but I can only speak for College of Com and MTU, as they're the two colleges I've been in through my education journey. So the loaner laptop scheme is a government scheme which assists students to be provided with a laptop from the college. As well, just to say that the reason how I got this application put through for me is because I required a lot of assistive technology, as I have a visual impairment as well. So reading text without the help of assistive technology is very difficult for me. As well as this, you don't have to have a needs assessment to get this scheme. The libraries within colleges, as far as I know, have a loaner laptop scheme for students with, like, say, hidden disabilities as well. So, like, there is options for loaner laptop schemes outside of the disability support within the majority of colleges. How do the college apply for this scheme? So once you do your needs assessment with the college and the Disability Support Service and the Assistive Technology, they'll sign off on it, and they'll put through the application for your needs to get the laptop. It's a government initiative between higher education and the disability support services within colleges. I highly recommend it, as you get all the assistive technology which you need put onto the laptop for you, and the assistive technology or the disability support service do it. So you don't have to worry about getting licenses and stuff like that for these assistive technologies, which I will speak about in due course in the next couple of slides. As most of these assistive technologies that I'm going to be speaking about require licenses for the individuals to use them. So you can go through your disability support service to get funding for it, and if you're eligible, they will give you the laptop for the duration of your college degree. So here are a few of the technologies which I have availed of and which I was provided with through the Disability Support Service in my college. Zoom Text is a reading software which is available online, which individuals can buy, and it magnifies any text, any documents on your laptop to your specific magnification sizes. So like you say, if your eyesight isn't that bad, you could say go to 12 or 13. Like it's tailored for the individual's needs and the individual's requirements. And as you can see, I have a link to most of the softwares that I'm going to be speaking about at the end of each slide. So once I am finished this presentation, feel free to have a look at the links. My slides are up on the AHEAD website. So Connect 12. Connect 12 is a software which I've been availing of since my further education journey. I was first introduced to this software in the College of Com. It's a really beneficial piece of software because previously to that, I've been using magnification software that is they're brilliant pieces of software, but they don't have the advanced capabilities that Connect 12 has. Connect 12 is produced by Humanware, which are an organization that produce magnification software. So the benefits of Connect 12 is that its distance camera can take photographs of notes, and as well it can zoom into, say, notes that lecturers have on the board. But on top of that, you can take a picture with the camera and it'll store it onto the device itself. Not to mention the device itself is basically an Android tablet connected with different wires to make the camera work. So why I have such good experience with this piece of technology is because it takes pictures of the notes if you can't capture them straight away. And it'll store them notes in, say, a file for you on the device, on the Android tablet, until the end of the day. And then you can link your, say, email address. My college email address linked with the software. So I can just email the pictures that I have taken within the class to myself, and I can revisit them at any time. This is fierce handy for like, say, exam based situations, as as a person with a disability and a person with ADHD, I find it very hard to retain information for long periods of time. So it helps me to refresh myself when I'm going into exam situations. As well, to mention on this slide as well that the uh, the magnification software and the Android tablet has many other features as well. So it has a built-in calculator and it has access to the internet. So you can buy any books on it or get any additional information that you need for the lectures that you didn't notice you needed. You can Google it and it'll come up on the screen for you. As well as that, you can like say it's programmed to different magnification software, but you can change the colors within it as well, because as probably everyone's aware that like everyone's color contrast is not the same when you have vision impairment or when you have an eyesight problem. And once again, the links are below to these different pieces of software that I'm speaking about. Apologies about that. So the next bit of software, which I would really recommend to students, is Read and Write Gold. As well as this, I've been using the next two bits of software that I'm going to speak about since secondary school, so I'm very familiar with them, and I find highly beneficial as Read and Write Gold has a number of features like screen masking. Screen masking is where you open a document, and you can drag it from one corner to another, and it'll actually read the whole text for you, which is highly beneficial because if, once again, as I have mentioned previously, if you have eyesight problems and you can't read small text, that's highly beneficial. As well as that, you can get it to pair with, say, Google, and it will read text on Google through different features like screen masking, and you can convert stuff to PDF documents, and has an Adobe Reader built in as well that you can listen back to. So I can put it into MP3 and you can listen back to it whenever you want, because it stores it within the software application itself. And it has a built-in dictionary feature, so you can add words to it and build your vocabulary as you're going through your course. If there's new words, you say, "Oh, I don't know what this means. I'd like to learn more about it." You can put it into your vocabulary checker within the vocabulary account within the software, and it'll be there for you. So you're building up the vocabulary all the time. As I mentioned before, Read the Web is a very handy piece of equipment that this software offers, because as everyone is aware, like most people are aware, that a text on the website is not really accessible for everyone. And when you're reading documents, say like Wikipedia or something, you can't enlarge the document on the internet on Wikipedia unless you copy it over to Microsoft Word, which is hard to do. Well, it's hard to do, and it's very time consuming if you're under pressure, like say trying to get in assessments and you're doing them the night before and you're trying to find information fast. It's highly beneficial for that if you're just under time pressure. And the link to purchasing this software and getting information on it is available here as well. As well as that, this software can be linked with Microsoft Word, so that this is where the speech text element comes in. So the speech to text is when you, like, say, speak something, a paragraph, and it'll come back and it'll put it onto the screen for you. The read and write goal also has its own built-in, say, WordPad. If you don't want to put it onto Word, you can use the built-in feature, and that'll store on the software itself. So this piece of software would be my, I'd say, favorite out of all of them, as this is another bit of software that I've used since I was in secondary school. The reason why I like this software so much is because when you set up this software first, it asks you to create your own user profile. So the benefits of user profiles is that, say, going back to Read and Write Gold, Read and Write Gold does not give you this option. So that's one disadvantage of Read and Write Gold, but this software does. And the advantage of having your own user profile is, say, if you're working on a research dissertation for a final year project, you're not like, you're going to be changing and chopping stuff a lot of times to get it right. But like, if you say type something out, you can finish your thing and it'll ask you at the end, before you close down Dragon, do you want to upload this software, or sorry, this document to your user profile? Which I always say yes, because if I upload it to my user profile, it'll be there for the next time I want to use it, and it will have saved all the changes to it. There is another brilliant piece of kit within this, is that you can, say, like, you can set up your own commands within Dragon. So you can add, like, say, I don't know, for example, PowerPoint, or you can add, like, say, if it's not built into it, you can say, read the web. There's a rake of features you can use with it. That's why I like this software so much, and I think it's not only beneficial for people with disabilities. I've done a placement as part of my other course that I did before this in a tech company, and they asked me to do a demonstration on this. And as well, what I've learned from doing that demonstration was that, as most of them didn't have a disability, they were still on board of implementing this piece of software into their company, as it speeds up the typing process for anyone. Like, as a lot of people know, typing up assessments or emails can take time, and as well, it recognizes kind of like grammar, punctuation, spelling mistakes, but it recognizes all of them, which is great for a person that has, say, learning difficulties, because sometimes, as people with learning difficulties, we don't spot the small grammar errors until we go to submit the document to, like, say, Canvas or to our lecturers, which at that stage is no good, because you haven't submitted it and your mistakes are not fixable. or else you mightn't notice it until the information comes back from your lecturer saying, oh, there's spelling mistakes here. But to overcome that process, the Dragon will pick up the errors and highlight them to you so that you can change them. The one thing I would mention in this is that Dragon is an American-based software. So, like, say, color is one example I'm going to give. Color is spelled differently in an American context than in Irish or in English, sorry. So, like, they are the small things you have to be aware of when you're using the software, because, like, it might say color is spelled right, like CLOUR, but like it'll underline it as wrong because it's the American spelling they're recognizing. So that's a benefit of that. And as well as that, there is licenses that you have to have to get this piece of software. There is a license that, say, companies or assistive technology college officers have to give this piece of software to students. Just let me mention there that, as far as I know, the Read and Write Gold does not need a license. I'm willing to be corrected on that. I'm not 100% certain, but as far as I know, the Read and Write Gold does not need a license. It might, but I'm open to correction. But as far as I know, the Dragon definitely needs a license for it. And you can buy a company license, or you can buy an open license where a lot of people can use it. That's the licenses that assistive technology officers have. And that's why I'd advise people to go to their assistive technology officer and get it off of them, because of the stipulation of the license. It's very hard, and it's kind of annoying for an individual to get a license. So, like, assistive technology officers would have a license for everyone so that they can give it out to students. As well, another thing that I'd advise for this software is, and it's highly important, is when you're setting the software up first day, as it sets your own very unique user profile, I'd make sure that you're in a quiet room with no noise, or even have a cancelling headset on, because the start process of this software, the initial setup, it needs the user to be very articulate with their voice and very accurate, or else you'll have problems down the line and you'll end up having to set it up again. And when you're doing assessments, it won't recognize some sentences you put in, and it'll just become hard to do, and you won't get the benefit out of the software. Okay, reading aloud in Microsoft Word is a built-in feature which I didn't know about until a couple of years ago, and I actually it in my opinion, it would be as accurate as, say, Read and Write Gold, or like, say, Dragon. This is an alternative to individuals if they don't have the resources or funds to purchase this software, these pieces of software themselves. Like, with the vast scale of, like, say, COVID and all that, I was using a mixture of, say, Microsoft Read and Write Gold, and Dragon to complete my assessments. And I must say that Microsoft have advanced their features so well that like Microsoft Read Aloud is nearly as beneficial as having Dragon or any other reading software. So to access this feature, in case you're wondering how to access it, it's built in with the ribbon. So with the ribbon on Microsoft Word. So to access it, you go to Review on the Home tab, and over on the left-hand corner, you can hit Read Aloud, and this feature will read aloud everything that you have on Microsoft. Just let me say as well that make sure when you are reading the software out, or before you read it out, you have everything that you wanted to read highlighted, because if you don't have the information highlighted, it won't know what to read. That's just one stipulation I found, and it took me a while to realize that. Flow. So Grammarly is a Ukrainian-based software that is very beneficial as well, and I like to use it with Word as well. As once again, it's another way of enhancing your paragraphs within assessments, and it also, the most beneficial thing I think is that it gives you alternative ways of phrasing something if you don't want to use the same word within your sentences and you want to expand your vocabulary. I was very hesitant of using this software when I started college first, as lecturers were saying, that if it's not your own work, Original or any other software that you submit to, like say when you submit to Canvas, you submit an assessment, it goes through an Original process to show how similar your work is. So like that's why I was kind of unsure of using it, because I was afraid that if I put it through Grammarly, it won't be my own work. But I asked an lecturer, is it okay to use? And they said, as a tool to help your learning, it's a way of enhancing your vocabulary. So we like kind of embrace technology when we can and make your structure and layout of your presentations or assessments do them to the best of your ability. And like it's very handy because like as having ADHD and visual impairment, like I find that I struggle constructing paragraphs and learning about where words are misspelt and where to put in full stops and commas, which are basic grammar, and as well like that it could lose you a few marks when you do an assessment. So it's very important to have these small details in an assessment to bump up your marks. And once again, the link to this software is available below. And just before we finish on this, move on to the next slide, I just want to say that this is a free software which you can download from any Google Play Store or sorry, any internet site. So some of the softwares, again going back to going to Grammarly, is like it's a basic writing software, which once again I was actually introduced to by going out on work placement. I was doing an assessment and or doing a presentation for the individuals on placement, and one of the individuals recommended Grammarly to me, and I was going, I don't really want to use it because I'd be afraid that it would mess up my sentences. But I started to use it for my third year part of the course because I wanted to learn more vocabulary and sentence grammar formation, especially for the dissertation aspect. And to be honest, I've never looked back in using this software. It's highly beneficial as well of any of the other software that I've mentioned so far. I've never looked back. They're the most best experiences I've ever encountered. And as a student with a disability, I'm always open to new avenues and ways of improving my own experience of technology and learning new tools and embracing the experience of assistive technology. And I think assistive technology can be embraced in many different ways. Okay. So the digital Eckenbosch monitor, it's a monitor that kind of enlarges print on, say, books or sheets that you get from lectures. This piece of software is small. It doesn't have a built-in camera to zoom in on the board. It's just primarily for reading text and enlarging worksheets that you get from lectures, as well as the other software, Connect 12 that I've mentioned. This software has a built-in camera as well that you can take photographs with. As well as that, you can change the color contrast within the software to suit your individual, say, color backgrounds and stuff like that. And as well, you can make the text enlarged up to size 12. Another benefit of this software is that it's easily portable, and for a college setting, that's the number one goal that you're trying to achieve, is for something to be portable for you, because you don't, like with the Connect 12, as well as it being a brilliant bit of software, it's kind of hard to move around. But as this one, it's to fit in its box. You can even I've put it into my school bag and brought it to college with me, and like it's really easy to move around and to move it from class to class. And the battery life as well seems to be good on it. Once again, there's a link below to the site where you can purchase it. So exam supports. As part of my course, my individual course, my course is continuous assessment as I've kind of, you would have heard me mentioning to, like, say, Dara when he was asking the questions about the further ed and the exam based assessments. So like I'd avail of the exam support about twice a year because of my exam course being continuous assessment. I don't rely on formal exams. So like my exams would be in-class assessments, but as well as that, I have a PA, but my PA, because she's in class with me the whole time, she wouldn't be allowed to um read and scribe for me, as she'd know the information, and they'd be afraid of the PA in like giving me support and upping my grades. So that's why they bring in individual people that are paid by, say, the exam supports office to sit down and read and scribe for you. Let me mention there as well that a reader and a scribe, a lot of people think that a reader and a scribe are two separate people, which in fact is not the case. A reader and a scribe is done by one person, so you don't have two people sitting in an exam room with you talking to you. It's all done by the one individual. And as a student with ADHD, I always avail of the separate exam centres, as I find my concentration levels can be easily interrupted if I'm in a crowded space and there's a lot of noise going on around me. I find it very hard to focus on the task at hand. And that's where the separate center comes in very handy, because you're in a room on your own with the scribe and reader. So you've no one distracting you, only the scribe who's reading the questions and writing down your answers. As well as this, as part of the DSS needs assessment, all these supports come in with your needs assessment. They assess you for this as well. But just to mention, in most of the colleges, the exam supports are a separate, like say, building, or run separately to the Disability Support Service. On whether they're under the same umbrella, but they're a separate entity. So like say, just going back to say extra time, which I'll speak more about on the next slide.
Ethan, I actually hate to interrupt you, but we've actually reached the end of your time slot, because I don't want to interrupt you, because everything we're learning is so important, and you've done so much work and research towards this talk. So I really want to thank you for your time. And we might let the participants look at the rest of the slides online, if that's okay.
I've only one slide left if you want me to quickly go jump through it.
Yeah, if you want to do it quickly, and we might have a minute for questions then, if that's okay.
Yeah, perfect. Sorry.
Thank you.
Oh shit. Oh, it's gone. Okay, so as I said, exam support. So like if you're going for, say, a 2-hour exam, it's 20 minutes per hour. But just make sure that you specify that you have the additional support, because they won't give it to you otherwise. And the learning support or the invigilators won't know. So that's the extra time supports. So I'd like to thank you for your time, and I hope this presentation was beneficial, and I'd like to take any questions from the floor now.
That was incredible, Stephen. Thank you so much. Does anyone have any questions? You're getting lots of compliments in the chat there. You're a fountain of knowledge. Yeah, a lot of the supports I didn't realize were so readily available. And thank you so much for highlighting them all.